Ladies and gentlemen, there is a profound difference between mere physicality and true intimacy. It is the difference between gratification and meaning, between acting out of impulse and acting out of love. And that difference is not arbitrary. It determines the depth of your relationships, the strength of your character, and ultimately, the quality of your life. When a man truly loves from the heart, he is fully present in the moment. He does not approach intimacy as a mere physical act, but as a deep, shared experience that demands his undivided attention. His mind is not elsewhere. He is not preoccupied with work, distractions, or selfish desires. Instead, he is completely attuned to his partner, responding to her emotions, her needs, and the energy of the moment. This level of presence is rare because it requires discipline. It means setting aside ego, silencing internal noise, and surrendering fully to the experience. It is the difference between passively engaging in an act and actively being with someone. A man who is truly present makes his partner feel valued, seen, and cherished. He listens not just to words, but to body language, to emotion, to the subtle shifts that reveal unspoken truths. In a world filled with distractions, the ability to give another person complete attention is one of the greatest forms of love. It is not just about physical connection, but emotional and spiritual alignment. When a man offers this kind of presence, intimacy becomes more than just an act. It becomes a profound and transformative experience. A man who loves from the heart does not approach intimacy as a means to an end. He does not see it as something to be achieved or performed. Instead, he seeks to understand his partner on a profound level. His goal is not just to satisfy, but to connect, to learn what makes her feel safe, cherished, and deeply desired. He pays attention to her emotions, her responses, and the nuances of her expression. This kind of man does not operate from assumption. He does not impose his own expectations onto the experience. Instead, he remains curious and receptive, constantly attuning himself to his partner's needs. He understands that true intimacy is a conversation, not a monologue. It is an exchange of trust, energy, and vulnerability. He listens, he observes, and he adjusts, not out of obligation, but because he genuinely cares about creating a meaningful connection. When a man seeks to understand rather than simply to satisfy, he elevates love beyond the physical. He turns it into an act of mutual discovery. He makes his partner feel truly known, and in doing so, he builds something far deeper than mere attraction. He creates a bond that is rich, enduring, and real. A man who truly loves from the heart understands that real intimacy requires both strength and vulnerability. He does not hide behind emotional walls, nor does he mistake dominance for power. Instead, he possesses the courage to reveal his true self, his fears, his desires, his uncertainties, while remaining grounded and dependable. This balance is what allows love to flourish. Many men are conditioned to believe that showing emotion is a weakness, that expressing fears or doubts makes them less masculine. But in reality, nothing requires more strength than honesty. A man who is willing to be emotionally open demonstrates not only confidence, but also a deep respect for his partner. He is not afraid to be seen for who he truly is, knowing that real connection is only possible when both people bring their authentic selves to the relationship. At the same time, he does not let his emotions control him. He remains a source of security, able to hold space for his partner's feelings as well as his own. His strength is not in detachment, but in his ability to embrace love fully, without fear. This kind of man creates an intimacy that is not only passionate, but profoundly safe and deeply fulfilling. A man who loves from the heart does not approach intimacy carelessly or impulsively. He moves with purpose, understanding that every action, every touch, and every word carries meaning. He does not rush through the moment, seeking only immediate gratification. Instead, he is intentional, fully aware that true connection is built through patience, thoughtfulness, and a deep sensitivity to his partner's needs. This kind of man recognizes that intimacy is not just a physical exchange, but a dynamic interaction of emotions, energy, and trust. He is attuned to the subtle details, the way his partner responds, the rhythm of her breathing, the unspoken signals that reveal her comfort and desire. He does not force, assume, or take, Rather, he gives with care, ensuring that his actions align with her feelings in the moment. His presence is steady, his affection deliberate. He understands that love is not about proving himself, but about creating something meaningful together. His confidence comes not from conquest, but from his ability to engage deeply, making every interaction a reflection of the love and respect he holds for his partner. In doing so, he turns intimacy into a powerful and transformative experience. A man who truly loves from the heart listens, not just with his ears, but with his entire being. He understands that true intimacy is not about speaking the right words, but about hearing the unspoken ones. He pays attention to his partner's voice, her expressions, her body language, and the subtle emotions behind her words. He listens not just to respond, but to understand, making her feel valued, seen, and safe. This level of attentiveness requires patience and selflessness. It means setting aside his own assumptions, resisting the urge to interrupt or fix things immediately, and instead being fully present in the moment. He does not listen passively or half-heartedly. He absorbs, he reflects, and he seeks to understand her reality as deeply as his own. He knows that love is not just about saying, "I understand you," but proving it through his actions. By listening in this way, he creates a space where his partner feels free to be vulnerable without fear of judgment. She trusts him, knowing that he is not just hearing her words, but truly feeling what they mean. This kind of listening strengthens the bond between them, transforming love into something profound and enduring. A man who loves from the heart treats intimacy as something sacred, not as something casual or routine. He understands that real connection is more than just physical. It is emotional, mental, and even spiritual. He does not take the moment for granted, nor does he see it as a mere act of pleasure. Instead, he approaches it with deep respect, recognizing that it is a shared experience of trust and vulnerability. This mindset changes everything. It means he is fully present, engaged, and aware of the significance of every interaction. He does not rush or treat love as transactional. Instead, he cherishes the experience, knowing that genuine intimacy is rare and precious. He respects his partner's emotions and boundaries, never acting out of selfish desire, but from a place of love and mutual connection. When a man sees intimacy as sacred, he creates an environment where his partner feels safe, cherished, and deeply connected to him. It is not just about passion, it is about reverence. Every touch, every word, every shared moment carries meaning, and in that space of respect and presence, love deepens, growing into something lasting, profound, and truly transformative. A man who truly loves from the heart does not keep score in his relationship. He does not view love as a transaction where he gives only to receive something in return. Instead, he gives freely, without hesitation, because love at its highest form is an act of generosity. He does not measure his affection in terms of what he gets back, nor does he withhold kindness or intimacy based on past interactions. His love is not conditional. It is rooted in a deep commitment to his partner's happiness and well-being. This kind of love requires emotional maturity. It means understanding that true intimacy is not about personal gain, but about building something meaningful together. A man who gives without keeping score trusts that love is not diminished by giving, it is strengthened. He does not remind his partner of what he has done for her or expect her to repay his affection. Instead, he finds joy in the act of giving itself, knowing that real love flourishes when it is selfless. In a world where so many relationships are based on unspoken debts and unfulfilled expectations, a man who gives without condition creates a bond that is pure, resilient, and truly fulfilling. A man who truly loves from the heart creates a space where his partner feels completely safe to be herself. He does not expect her to perform, change, or fit into an idealized version of what he thinks she should be. Instead, he embraces her fully, her strengths, her vulnerabilities, her quirks, and her imperfections without judgment. This kind of acceptance allows her to relax into the relationship, knowing she does not have to hide parts of herself to be loved. Creating this kind of emotional safety requires trust, patience, and consistency. He does not mock or dismiss her feelings, nor does he react with anger or indifference when she expresses her emotions. He listens, he reassures, and he makes it clear through his actions that she can be her most authentic self without fear of rejection. When a man provides this level of security, intimacy deepens. His partner no longer feels the need to put up walls or guard herself against potential hurt. She trusts him fully, and in that trust, love flourishes. True connection is only possible when both people feel safe to be vulnerable, and a man who creates that space builds a relationship that is strong, lasting, and deeply fulfilling. A man who loves from the heart leaves a lasting imprint on the person he shares intimacy with. He does not approach love as something temporary or fleeting, but as something that carries meaning beyond the moment. His presence lingers, not in a way that haunts, but in a way that enriches. His partner remembers not just his touch, but the way he made her feel, safe, understood, cherished. This happens because he gives more than just his body. He gives his energy, his attention, and his emotions. He is not detached or indifferent. He invests himself fully in the experience. He does not treat love as an isolated act, but as a continuous expression of who he is. His words, his actions, and even his silence hold weight, creating memories that do not fade easily. A man like this understands that true intimacy is more than physical pleasure. It is about connection, meaning, and depth. He loves in a way that resonates long after the moment has passed, and because of that, he is never truly forgotten. His love becomes a part of the person he shares it with, shaping their understanding of what it means to be truly valued and deeply known.